Hello friends, and welcome to a little episode of Lexi's budget bunker build. So I'm down in the hole right now and I discovered a couple of problems. So the bane of every bunker slash tunnel maker is water. Damn stuff gets in everywhere. And so I showed you the little setup I've got. And the other day we had a forecast of heavy rain, so I thought I should just pop down in the evening and test it, and it wasn't working, which was a bit of a shock, to be honest, because I thought it had it all sorted. But turns out this thing here, this damn solar controller, I think it's playing up, because this battery, which is brand new and was fully charged and working fine, when I came down and tested it, it's like the pump everything was dead completely. And I traced it back with a voltmeter back to here. So the when I tested the inlet on the controller, I had a good 20 volts. Checking the outlet, I had 1.5 volts. I'm like, wait, hang on, that's not right. Should be about 12 to probably 14 volts coming out of there to charge a 12-volt battery. And when I took the leads off and tested the battery, that was down to 1.5 volts. So that's no good for anything at all. So I'm pretty sure it's this thing that's packed up. So anyway, I charged the battery up and hooked it up, tested the pump, and it still didn't work. I mean, the pump worked, but it's down here. It wouldn't draw any water, no matter how hard I tried. I even tried priming it. Turns out these janky fittings, let's get in there. So you pull this thing off. It's seized up now. Slide this little, oh good lord. Anyway, slide that little thing out there. I got my finger on, whoops. And that releases this fitting. But it's loose. It's not a great tight fit. There's a little O-ring in there. But yeah, this was a pre-filter that was on there. So when you add that in as well, that's wobbling around. Bloody pipe fittings in there in the inlet is wobbling around, and letting letting a load of air into the pipe. And so because it's not drawing up, because it goes down quite deep. I mean, this is supposed to be able to draw 1.5 meters, but it just wouldn't work. So I took this pre-filter thing out, put the pipe straight in there, and got it sort of tightened in there a little bit and got it working. But yeah, that's not a permanent solution. So what I'm going to do on the weekend, which is still a day away for me, is I'm going to epoxy resin glue these things in both sides. And I mean, it means they'll be in there permanently, but realistically I don't see as I ever need to take them out. So I'm just going to epoxy those in, get a hose clip onto the hose, and just eliminate that issue altogether. Probably what I will do as well is maybe change this float system a little bit, bring the float up a little bit, so there's a bit more water in the hole, so it's not having to draw it up quite so high. And I think that should sort it. Because I didn't have faith in the pump after that, I stuck it in this fiberglass dome that I've got. This is actually a mold that I made, this fiberglass thing. So you can see that's the shiny side is the inside of the mold. And yeah, I'd be interested to see if anybody can guess what I made that mold for. It's a very specialist little project I had. And I did the job beautifully, and I kept the mold, which I haven't needed to use again, but I knew one day it would come in useful. And so my thinking here is I'll sit the pump in there, which means it's down as close to the water as possible, so it doesn't have to lift. But should the pump fail and this hole fills up with water, this thing is just going to float up with the water. So my pump's not going to drown, because it's not a submersible, that one. Pump will just float up, and sure, I'll end up with another sticky mess in the hole, but at least I won't lose my pump. So that's my thinking there. Now, as far as this thing that's packed up, I have a new one ordered. So our local, we have an equivalent here to the old eBay, and I've ordered one off there, less than 20 bucks. So hopefully that sorts that problem. In the meantime, I'll just keep that battery charged up, and hopefully I won't end up with a hole full of water. So on the water front, obviously the best thing is if you can stop the water getting in there altogether to begin with. Now, I don't think I'll ever make it 100%, make that 100% waterproof, but I have started to identify where the water could be soaking down. So we've got this area here, which is outside my little garden shed, which is just beside my workshop. So this area here, I reckon rain would soak in there and then probably run under the concrete. That's got drainage material in it, under it. And yeah, drain under there and then straight down into the hole. The shed doesn't have proper gutter system. Just this horrible bit of steel open on the ends. Water pours out. If I come around the other side of it, see the same story here. That just pours down here. And you imagine the water pouring down there onto that gravel and come along to here, and of course that's the outlet for my drain. And I could see the water could possibly be getting down into the bunker through here, through this gravel here. But also, of course, we've got this ledge here. Now this is all drainage material. This is we've got crushed shells, and under that is scoria, basically all the way down to the ground level. So I can imagine the rain just pouring down there and soaking through, ending up in the bunker. So, and of course we don't have a gutter up here either. On the top of the shed, the old tin the water just comes straight off the edge. So yeah, I've got quite a bit of, and it's actually a few issues around the other side of this gate, which I won't bother with right now, but my thinking is, if I can address all these possible areas where the water's getting in, if I can seal them and put in better drainage, I might better stop the majority of the water getting actually into the bunker to begin with, which can only be a good thing. So on that note, the first job I'm going to do around here is I'm going to, this is going to be a bit cheap and nasty, but I got this, it's called core flute, so it's old signage from work. So these are one-use ones. They're for specific events. They've got a date on them, and they'd normally end up in the rubbish, or we try and repurpose them where we can, but honestly there's a swag in them. So I'm going to try and repurpose that as a sort of a, what's happened to my phone? That's fogged up. Hang on, guys. There we go. We're back. Yeah, so I'm going to repurpose them as a cheap flashing, coming down off here, down to there, a bit of a slope over the edge, and coat of paint. It should look all right. Not sure if it'll be a completely permanent solution. Maybe when I've got a bit more money, I might actually get something made up out of steel, perhaps galvanized. But as an interim thing, just a stopgap, I'll give that a shot. Here we go, guys, finished product. Rough and ready, flashing. So she's not particularly pretty, but I'll get some white sealer and I'll seal up in some of these corners and things where I've had to work around stuff, and seal up around this pipe a little bit better, probably along these edges. Then I'll give it a coat of the old green paint. That'll make it pretty much disappear. And yeah, you know, considering this has cost me a handful of screws and nothing more, I reckon that's not bad. And that's going to stop, even now, that's going to stop probably 95% of the water getting down into that gully. And hopefully that makes a difference, because there is a lot of incoming rain. So I was going to paint it now, but I tell you what, I made a mistake once. I painted my roof in the evening, and then I came out the next day, got up on the roof, and I thought I'd gone mad because I'm looking at the roof and it's gone back to the original colour. And looked in the gutter and all the paint had washed off. The condensation overnight, it just washed the paint off because it hadn't dried, and it was all sitting in the gutter. So I won't be making that mistake again. I'll paint this when it's like in the morning. I've got all day for it to dry. So this little section here, I'm actually going to cut this step down a little bit, because this is actually a step, and at the moment it's more of a trip hazard. So I'll cut that down, and then I'll put it like a concrete step, slightly sloped, and that'll stop the rain soaking down through this piece. The rain will just roll off. And I'll make up a little piece of flashing to cover that hole, seal that off nicely, and that'll sort that part. So that's about one section out of 6 that I need to address, but that's not bad for probably less than an hour's work. And as I say, my weekend's not here yet, so it's a limit to what I can do, but I just wanted to get something done tonight. It's been on my mind that this area could be one of the major areas where the water's getting in. But anyway, I guess I'll find out tomorrow evening when I get home from work and have a look down the hole. And yeah, that's me for tonight. Lex out.